Shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash, and double honor to my teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule and teach well, who I learned this truth from. Peace and salutations to the elect that scattered across the four corners of the planet Earth, pushing this truth in sincerity and meekness without wavering, as well as risking a life of freedom to do so. This is your brother ICR for the GMS Cleveland Church, and I'm back with another lesson. And Lord willing, it is edifying to one of the Lord's elect. Alright, and this is going to be a quick video, okay, not that long, not that drawn out. And it's real informative, okay, it's a real informative video. So I'm going to play it, then I'm going to run it back, grab a couple precepts, and close out, because this truth is being revealed. Okay, this truth is being brought on the forefront. Everything that our elders and apostles of Great Millstone have been saying, okay, and their elders, okay, it's being brought to the light. Okay, it's being brought to the light. So with that being said, let's check this out.
If you look at the group of people who meet through the BIS,
What's that?
the BIS is the Bank of International Settlements, and it's the central bank of central banks.
Where is that located?
It's in Basel, Switzerland. It has 63 of the most powerful central banks as its members, and the New York Fed and the Fed are both shareholders. They became shareholders in 1994.
In one sentence, what's the purpose of the Bank of International Settlements?
Okay, so there are two things you need to know about the Bank of International Settlements.
I'm not sure my brain's big enough for this, but keep going.
It is. It has sovereign immunity.
What does that mean?
It's above the law.
It's its own country.
Right. It's its own country. It has its own police force. And essentially, other than one of its staff being in a car accident or, minor things, no one has the legal authority to move against it. Number two, it can move money and hold it on its balance sheet and manage money secretly. If I want to steal 21 trillion from the US government and park it on the balance sheet of the BIS, it can move it anywhere in the world and it can keep it on its balance sheet secretly.
First of all, where does its power? Like, who empowered it to have sovereign immunity and the right
It was created after World War I, and it was created in theory to manage the reparations of the German government. But if you read the real history, it was because the Bank of England and the central bankers wanted an entity that had sovereign immunity. If you look at the group...
I noticed she said the central bankers. Who's the ones? What people own all the banks? Okay. It's talking about the international banking family, starting with, as you know, the Rothschilds. Okay, if you know the history about the Rothschilds, Meyer Amschel Bauer had 5 sons, and he sent them throughout Europe to start central banks. Okay, and these central banks, what do? They funded wars on both sides. Okay, they funded both countries that went to war. Okay, and eventually, those countries that went into debt, they brought them into hardcore slavery. Okay, financial slavery with their monetary system, heavy interest, heavy debt. Okay, to the point where those countries, okay, are complete financial slaves to the banking families, man. All right. And this banking family right here, not banking family, but the Bank of International Settlements, is the one that wants to, not the one, but is in charge of pretty much switching over fiat currency into digital. Okay. So let's play this back. Okay. Let's play this back.
The people who meet through the BIS.
What's that?
The BIS is the Bank of International Settlements, and it's the central bank of central banks.
Where is that located?
It's in Basel, Switzerland. It has 63 of the most powerful central banks.
Notice it has Russia, okay, India, okay, Asia, all right.
Its members, and
Also America. You've seen that, all right. It has all these. It has Europe. It pretty much has all of those banks. Okay. Where Edomites are at. All right. See, this is where the beast system is about to be set up at, man. It's going to be set up all across the world, okay? But the main focal point is the United States of America. Now, I'm going to try to find that video, alright? The guy, he said, it's a big, heavy, fat, set, heavy, fat, heavy set, fat guy. And this is him right here. Check this out. Take forever to load, man. Hold on. Turn on my phone. This should load now. This is Satan.
2020 that raised a lot of eyebrows.
We tend to establish the equivalence with cash, and there is a huge difference.
Now, this is the guy, Augustin Carstens. He's the general manager of the Bank of International Settlements, and this was in October 19th, 2020. Okay, which if you're familiar with what happened in 2020, okay, there was a pestilence that came abroad and wanted to do away with tangible fiat currency. Okay, they wanted, and throughout that whole plan, DEMIC, alright, everything started to be contactless. Okay, contactless payments, contactless encounters. Okay, and that's what they want. Okay, because it's going to lead to the MOTB. All right, we're going to play this, and we're going to keep playing.
Difference there. For example, in cash, we don't know, for example, who's using a $100 bill today. We don't know who is using a 1,000 peso bill today. A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability. And also, we will have the technology to enforce that. Those two issues are extremely important, and that makes a huge difference with respect to what cash is.
Carsten says that 2020 that raised.
So pretty much he said he wants to know where your money is going and how it's being spent. See, that's the B system, man. See, this is that mark, okay? That buy or sell. They want to know exactly what you're doing. Okay? So this is the job of the Bank of International Settlements. Okay. So let's play this one more time.
A lot of eyebrows.
We tend to establish the equivalence with cash, and there is a huge difference there. For example, in cash, we don't know, for example, who's using a $100 bill today. We don't know who is using a 1,000 peso bill today. A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will.
See, CBDC is a central bank digital currency. And who's going to be control of that? The Bank of International Settlements, which is owned by the Bank of London. Okay, which the Bank of London is pretty much the headquarters of all banks. Okay, so let's check this out.
Have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability. And also, we will have the technology to enforce that. Those two issues are extremely important, and that makes a huge difference with respect to what cash is.
Carsten says that.
That's Esau's problem. He wants total control. I'm gonna play this video too. This guy right here.
Several central banks have, like the Bank of England, already prepared their microchip implant RFID chip to be implanted
So he said,
under your skin.
London, okay, which the Bank of London is in charge of the Bank of International Settlements. Okay, so the Bank of International Settlements is in charge of switching over the fiat currency to digital. And in the midst of that, guess what? The Bank of London already has something great. It already has everything ready for you that you need for this system, man. All right, so let's play.
Several central banks have, like the Bank of England, already prepared their microchip implant RFID chip to be implanted under your skin. And why is the sudden discussion about universal basic income from all the grassroots and inverted commas movements and billionaires? Oh, universal basic income is the bribe for you to accept the microchip.
The Federal Reserve is considering a digital dollar.
Yeah, universal basic income is a form of you accepting the MOTB, man. Because Esau knows that you're going to be destitute and without, you're going to be without a job. And without a job, you're not going to be able to pay your bills for your possessions like your home, your car. Alright? So in order to live in the society that's coming, you have to take the MOTB, man. Alright, let's grab that. This is the MOTB, man. Alright? There's no way around this. Okay? Dude, I think it was Malachi from IUIC talking about those that repent don't have the mark. Okay, but how are you buying or selling if you don't have the mark? So if you buying or selling, you gotta have the mark. See, this is why it's very vital as an Israelite, specifically, a man. Okay, if you believe you're 144,000, you have to watch and scrutinize what these men are saying, because it's not adding up to the scriptures. Okay, this is the book of Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life into the image of the beast. Talking about the ancient Roman Empire had power to give life into the image of the beast. The beast is what? The new world order, man. That's the image, okay? The image of the beast is talking about what? Okay, what's the beast? NATO, EU, and America. Starting with America. It says that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And the image of the beast is speaking. I just showed you 2 videos. Okay, they want to do away with cash. They want it to be a cashless society. And they control everything that you say, eat, and do. It says, and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Meaning what? You're going to be separated from society. Okay, outcasted. Okay, you're going to be looked down upon, shamed. Okay, looked as a scoundrel, a menace to society. Okay, a criminal. Okay, see, that's the lot of the believers in the elect. It says that he calls above all, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So in the times to come, we're going to see who actually buying or selling. That's when you will know who has the mark and who doesn't. Okay, and the elect are not going to take that mark. Okay.
Implications for privacy and freedom are frightening. But central bank digital money is ominous. The downside of governments being able to track digitally every single product or service you buy and sell is chilling.
The third way we think CBDC can improve financial inclusion is through what we call programmability.
And it makes surveillance go under your skin.
This is Richard Werner, the top.
What it's going to look like. He saw it. And it was around this large and would be implanted under your skin.
CBDC. If that happens, we're done.
They started their CBDC. Gosh, this looks like the mark of the beast.
Several central banks have.
Yep. See, even it says their own tongue shall fall upon themselves, man. See, the truth about the MOTB is coming out, and it's coming out and being exposed by Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. His own people that's are in these higher positions in the monetary system are revealing about what's coming to the planet Earth, man. Okay, so IUIC, HOY, IUIC, ISUPK, Believers of the Way, Watchmen for Israel, all you camps that say the MOTB is not a physical device, you soon will be put in that position of of finding out what it is, because they're gonna grab you up, man. All you Israelites, okay, specifically ones that know that you're Israelites, they're gonna grab you up. According to 2 Corinthians 16th chapter, okay, they're gonna grab you up and persuade you to take the C-hip, okay. And a lot of you Israelites gonna take it, man, because like you said, that's not the mark. All right. So you're gonna take it believing it's not the mark, and you're gonna ruin your chances of salvation. It's plain and obvious what the MOTB is, man. And I just wanted to make this quick. Lord willing, is edifying to one of the Lord's elect. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakwadash, and double honor to my teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. Calling Yashar Allah Shalom, Wa Ababa.